Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel Awaken Life 888. I am so glad to be back before you guys once again. Today I want to have a really good conversation and hopefully share some insightful tips for those who are going through divorce or maybe a breakup. I just want to shed a little light. I was married for about 12 years. And I was divorced, I want to say maybe late 90s. And what I'm thinking about and want to share is I was married all of those years. And we spent each one of those years tearing each other apart. And the reason, well, not all of it, but the majority of the reasons why was because neither one of us were prepared. Both of us were severely damaged and broken young people. Having children, I know I had kids back to back. The trauma was raging in our lives, our unhealed lives. And I'm going to stop it like right there because you had us having babies unhealed, and we're about to transfer all of this into the next generation. This is how the generations continue in dysfunction until somebody wakes up and understands that this has to stop. Because if we don't stop, we're not going to continue on. This will just keep reappearing. So I'm talking about my divorce because you spend a lot of time in a toxic dynamic and you're not concerned about your wealth. You're not concerned about your health. You're not concerned about your well-being. You're just concerned and you're on fire because you want love. You want this man to love you, to see your value. You got kids with him. So all of the important things that you need to be focused on, they get overlooked. And you end up, I got a school bus passing. Y'all already know, right, when you're about to give that sauce, the Matrix try to throw in a little sprinkle, but I got you covered. What I was saying is, you're so in love, you want this love, that you're forgetting the important aspects of your life. You're forgetting yourself. And that's not healthy. And you end up in court with a judge looking you in your face and calling you indigent. What is indigence? It's an extremely poor person, lacking basic resources of a normal life, lack of money, lack of home, unable to obtain basic resources, impoverished. That's a sad state to be in. That's a sad state to be in. But when you're in trauma and you are focusing on this quest and burning desire for the love, the consequences of you becoming indigent for someone who does not love you, for someone who is trying to get away from you. Yeah, I know you were good. I know you loved them. I know you had a dream of a family. You trusted this man. You gave him your best years. But you gotta understand, that was for a season. A season. He was with you and you're before the judge and you are indigent. You have nothing but the trauma, the bag of trauma. I want to say something to people who are considering marriage, and if they went through any forms of trauma, try to go get therapy before you go into your marriage, because it's going to resurface. And it resurfaces in your behaviors. And then you get children and you continue these behaviors on. Some of them, if you get therapy, get in a good group with other survivors and thrivers, you will learn how to correct and modify your behavior and understand and begin to know yourself and who you really are and who you truly are at your core. You don't have to stay in a state of toxicity in your mind. Some people were born into it, and it's your job. It's a beautiful life, irregardless of what all is going on. There's only one of you, only one you. And you have the right to exist in a whole state, irregardless of all of what you went through. You're worth it. You can overcome it by your thinking. Yes, you are a divine being. And this experience is just that. Experiences. Who are you at the end of the day? How do you sleep at night? Knowing that you are a light bringer and nobody in this realm you've grown can shut your light down. All right, your source of goodness. I hope you guys are all doing okay out here. The energy is really heavy. It's shifting, and we're in a beautiful season of Libra. And so the scales are definitely balancing themselves. And that's always good, balance. If you are finding yourself being told these extreme things about your life, immediately denounce them. Set your life on a course the way you want it. If you want a good family life, speak that. Will your way toward that. by spending time with your husband, your children, taking very good care of yourself, staying hydrated, drinking your water, curbing your diet, paying attention to your body and what it needs and what it wants, paying attention to what you want and what you need for your life's journey. It all resonates with those who love themselves. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with wanting all of those things and having all of those things for yourself. And there are actually a lot of them are just, they're free. You give them to yourself every day, free. And they build up an indestructible structure called you. Once you really know, it's only one of you, only one. You're meant to be here, you went through a lot. Hell, I had to think about that, how, in court, going back to talking about indigence. When I was going through my divorce, I was told I was indigent, but yet I was slapped with child support. I had to pay child support. So, I can kind of understand with the people that have to pay it because, I was indigent, for real indigent. And I didn't know how I was going to pay it. I even lost a job because I had fallen in the rears of my child support payments. And my ex-husband, he was calling my job, and his wife or girlfriend or whoever she was at the time, they would call my job when I was late. And they had friends, the military community can be kind of small. So they were, working. They were working it. And I understand how pressed it can be when you don't have it to give. And my children, at that time, we got joint custody, but he was the paternal, the head parent in charge. And so, when they were with me, he had to pay. And when they were with him, which was the majority of the time, I had to pay. And boy, I tell you, it was horrible because when I couldn't pay or if I was late, I wouldn't be able to talk to my children. The female would answer the phone and ask me about my child support payment. So this is a very, very cold world. It's a very cold world. And it's even colder when you're indigent, when you're poor, when you don't have anything. And people see that and they tell you what your situation is. And I look back over all of that, y'all. I was indigent. And I'm like, wow, but I was still helping people, Lord. I was still helping people. Yeah. And I thank God for it. And he was still sending good people my way. Yeah. And we'll talk about some of that in my next video. All right, guys, if you all are still with me, I want to say thank you all so much to my subscribers and to my new ones and to my day oneers. Hey, welcome. I don't know exactly where my page is going because I study and I do a lot of research. I've been through a lot on my journey, so I don't know how my subjects will ever come out. Okay? And I also get excuse me, but I also get a lot of spiritual downloads, prophetic words. Like I talked in my last video about the table that God has set before all of us, but he wants us to come out of falsehoods. God deals with us in number one, spirit, and number two, truth. So, just going into a deeper understanding of what that all means for my life, for me, has been a wonderful journey. And I am here for all of it. And being a Scorpio, it intensifies it. So sometimes if I'm not on here and I'm not making videos, I have to pull back. I literally have to pull back to absorb it. So, all right, I want to say thank you once again, and I will see you guys back in my next one. All right, bye.